Cancer.
Hello Cancer, this is your March forecast for 2017, and listen, we got two little clusters going on here, which is going to give you the main focus of action here this month. And that is your 9th house, it's your 10th house for career. So the long-term planets, they're still where they were last month. So let's talk about the Sun, Mercury, and Neptune. 9th house, that has for you reaching for your goals. It's represented by higher education too. But travel, maybe some of you are planning or dreaming about travel, and some of you might come to see that it can take place already now this month. But for the rest of you, you might be thinking about summer vacation, going to some place where it may be exotic, right? That Piscean energy, so it's really stimulating your hopes, your dreams, to go and experience something that could be quite beautiful. Also, if you're working on any lawsuits or negotiations to get into universities, studies, green cards, publications, all that is also represented by this area, so you can see that that too will absolutely come into the picture dynamically. Your career house, though, is buzzing here, Cancer, and we got Venus, we got Mars, we got Uranus, and we have the new moon. So this is the time, the best time of the entire 2017 for you to actually express what it is you now want. All right, so don't hold back, don't be shy. If you have the opportunity to have a review, well then express yourself, not just how you're feeling about the work you're doing today, but let them know where your vision is. If you don't express it, they have no idea. If you see yourself growing and wanting to have a promotion, and let them know so they can see that you're ready and fit to fight for it. Mars will give you that dynamic energy, and just as we start off early part of the month, Mars will be conjuncting Uranus, so expect the unexpected. Something may just pop up or land on your table or in your lap. Venus here will ensure that you financially are going to do very well this month. You might get a raise, you might get that promotion. And listen, you're lucky too, because Venus is going to go retrograde this month. Now, you might say, well, is that lucky? Well, the retrogrades are actually giving us a longer extended time in any one given area where it shows up, to give us more time to lay the grounds of what we want. It gives us time to look to the past, maybe missed opportunities, past opportunities that might come back where you can reevaluate them now. So yeah, there's hidden blessings in retrogrades. So from March 4th to April 15th, you'll see that Venus will slow down, but for your good though. Slow down a little bit here in your career. You may slip back into your 9th house, pick up something of essence that it can bring forward again into the 10th house when she goes direct again. Mars, though, is hammering down, super strong, knowing what it wants, and you're very powerful. And I'd like to say, so was February for you, Cancerians. And if you go back and re-listen to February, now when you're in March, you'll see how things really laid down right in front of you, laying the path out where you're now, in this month, really starting to pick it up. It's always nice when we listen to the readings back-to-back when we do. Why? Because we can see how the bigger picture really unfolds from where we were and where we're heading right now. But the excitement is definitely to be felt on all levels, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, this month. Having both Venus and Mars in Aries, well, that just makes you a little bit more fiery, a little bit more passionate when it comes to love and romance as well. You're diving into wanting to take the lead, and I think that is something that will make you feel good as well as also your partner. The new moon shows up here at Cancer, but not before the end of the month, 27th, and that is when we place our intentions. So your intentions being placed this month should be about your career. So look at what you have achieved. When we have so many planets in the 10th house, it's a time for achievement. This month is blessed. It's going to be a whole year before this new moon comes back. It's going to be a whole year before Venus comes back to this area. It's going to be a full 2 years before Mars comes back. So March is the it month. So yes, whatever you can do now to lay the foundation for the route that you are carving out for yourself, the more you will come to receive from it in the oncoming months throughout the rest of this year. There is a little bit of everything going on here as we have Jupiter opposing Uranus. This takes place on the 3rd. Now, Jupiter is always very generous with us. It opens our vision as to politics as well. It rules politics in so many ways. And when it is opposed Uranus, we can expect the unexpected. Now, Jupiter will be retrograde until to June 10th, I'm sorry, and has been from February 10th. So we can see some of the political unrest that has taken place. People are somewhat divided. You might find yourself somewhat divided in this as well. But your opposition of Uranus and Jupiter is between the 10th house and the 4th house. So that has to do with work, career, and family. So within the work field, you might encounter somebody who may not be on the same page as you. It could be within the family members that may not see it the same way. I think the bottom line for everyone right now is to agree upon to disagree. That it's okay that we have different opinions without it clashing, you know, within the family or within the work spot. And knowing that even this shall pass, right? But it could be a little fiery, especially when Mars is there, because when Mars conjuncts to that Uranus, it's also exactly opposing Jupiter too. And just look at the Dakota pipelines, for example, and the demonstrations that we see around. We just want things to go off in good ways, you know, that everybody stays safe, right? But besides that, I feel that whatever it is you're doing to express your higher vision is what is empowering to you. This is the Sun and Mercury coming together with Neptune. And Neptune is always the higher ideal of what we represent individually. And I see you expressing it, and you're expressing your passion about what you believe here just as this opposition is taking place, and that's all good. You're stipulating your grounds. I feel on the 5th, Mars and Saturn is going to give you some security, some strength. Especially since Mars now is in your 6th house in the work field, between the 6th and the 10th house, you could come to settle some kind of agreement at work, sign new projects perhaps, or maybe some of you are even starting a new job, and if you are, this could have longevity to it, all right? It's going to give you that bottom line sense of fulfillment, okay? You're knowing where you're heading right now. So the more you are at one with yourself, which I feel you will be that first week all the way up to the 10th, because now again, I'm seeing how you're expressing not just the ideal with Neptune, but then the Sun and Mercury will also line up with Pluto. This is your convictions. This is the pivotal point of transformation. 8th and 9th are very powerful days for you to stipulate, to come forward, to engage, to speak, to share. And as you do, I feel that this is, again, something now coming in that can open doors for furthering your career as they move into that 10th house. Mars will be moving into Taurus. And Mars in Taurus, that gives you, as opposed to now when it's been in Aries, it's been giving you that fighter spirit, right? The conquistador energy. It rules Aries, but now coming into Taurus, you're going to see how your consciousness is going to shift from just wanting to act to now secure. Taurus is all about securing what we want. And so we're going to be a little bit more stubborn to hang on to and protect those values. but it's in your 11th house for hopes and dreams. So Mars is going to empower you now to go for those things that you truly want. You can come to meet people who can be very supportive, open up doors for you, and vice versa, where you can be very supportive also within certain groups and organizations. Then we have, between the 12th and the 17th, some decisions that need to be made. I feel we can all feel a little challenged this week, just because both the Sun and Mercury both, the Sun being ourselves and Mercury, how we communicate and take in information. When we're up against Saturn, we might feel that something is limiting us. There's some circumstance. For you, that limitation is coming from the 6th house, from your day-to-day routines. It's from your coworkers, more the job you're doing, not necessarily career, but the day-to-day doing of your work might come a little bit heavier due to whatever circumstance might be for you personally. But yeah, you will be up and running again though. By the 20th, you are super strong, very motivated. You're getting all this Aryan energy as the Sun goes into your 10th house. And so career again is going to be lit up. Now we've had Venus, Mars, and the new moon will be joining us there. So now when the Sun is joining up too, well, then yes, you're it. You're center stage when it comes to your career. Great, great time. So all of March is definitely very much so about what it is you're trying to accomplish as far as your goals, and you will see how it's being served you as well. The 24th through the 27th, actually through the 29th, this is a time where not only are surprises going to come to the surface, like you will see there on the 26th, but it's also a time where I'm sensing that you're loving what you're doing, right? On the 25th, there's such a celebration going on where you're just feeling that you have shot the golden bird, as we say, where you have really not just dedicated yourself for a whole year to get to this point, but you're actually receiving something back where you're feeling the validity of all that hard work now has paid off. Maybe it's a raise, maybe it's a promotion, maybe it is a new job. Whatever it is for you here, I feel, Cancer, this is something you totally deserve. You're definitely striving now with Mars towards Neptune to reach those higher goals. You've been following that inner vision that you've had, and this is what you always want to do, because why? It's what prompts you forward. So on the 27th, there could be some new interventions taking place, decisions. Maybe you're going to turn a corner to open a door towards something that feels very creative, very spiritual, maybe even romantic. But whatever it is, I see you securing it, locking it in. Remember though, Mars in Taurus this month here for the latter part, and you're going to feel more, I won't say stubborn, but headstrong. It's easier for you to set boundaries when you know where you're at, right? At other times, sometimes we're a little bit more lenient and whatnot, but you know where you're at, and this is what you want. So it's a month where you're going to achieve a whole lot. The new moon on the 27th, 10th house, career. This is the time we place our intentions for you. It will be all about those goals that you're working for, and the intention should include the whole oncoming year until next year when you get the next chance for doing that. And so it will work for you as we proceed throughout 2017. The full moon will be in your 3rd house for communication. So that is where that's taking center stage. You might travel here around this time, and if so, it should be lit beautifully up for you. I'm sensing that it is a time where you can really get a lot of things done in a short amount of time, just because your focus is so on wanting to not necessarily strategize, but organize certain things. So powerful time. Now, if you're wondering where these two clusters are taking place in your moon or rising chart, you can easily find it by hitting the little I button of information up here. You'll find all the zodiac signs there easily to find, so you don't have to go search for them, because when we have these little clusters, well, wherever it's showing up in your moon sign or your rising sign, that's where you're also going to get all that extra excitement this month in March. So listen, Cancer, go have a great month. Leave your comments down below, maybe, of how the eclipses really worked out for you last month in February. When you share, you're helping your fellow Cancerians to see if they're on the same track and had similar experiences as you, and vice versa. So don't be afraid to leave your comments. I don't always have time to respond to them, but I read them all. So thank you for that. And I'll see you next month. Bye now.